The prominent Bangladeshi activist and renowned photographer Shahidul Alam has been detained in prison for more than a month now after posting photographs and video of the student protests there in early August. A bail hearing is due to be held on Tuesday. Well, he's been charged under controversial internet laws with spreading propaganda and false information on social media after posting pictures and live streaming on Facebook. His detention just came hours after he'd strongly criticised the government's handling of the demonstrations, the student demonstrations, in a TV interview. Let's speak to his niece, Sofia Karim. He's been abducted, or he's been held in custody for more than a month now. What do you understand happened from the moment he was picked up?
So he'd done the Al Jazeera interview. Within a couple of hours, he was at his flat. 30 plainclothes officers arrived at his flat. They introduced themselves as detective branch. They held the security guard at the main door back, masked up the CCTV cameras, took away the hard disks from the CCTV cameras, went upstairs to his flat. I believe they presented a woman posing as a student at his door. He opened the door, they abducted him. My aunt...
Well, I mean, you say abducted, but I mean, he's now in the judicial process. So, I mean, he was arrested, wasn't he, by these police officers?
We learnt afterwards that he was arrested. That night, we didn't know what had happened to him. He was put in a vehicle. He was blindfolded, handcuffed, arms behind his back, taken to detective branch. At detective branch, while blindfolded, heavy objects were put on his head. He was punched in the face. He was threatened with waterboarding. They said they'd frame him for trafficking. So
all these things he has claimed as allegations when he ultimately appeared in court. What are the charges against him?
The charges, he's being held under the ICT Act, Information, Communication and Technology, Section 57. Human Rights Watch describes this as a draconian law designed to stifle the media.
And what he did in terms of the student demonstrations, just for our viewers, the student demonstrations were originally over road traffic accidents, weren't they? But quickly became something more. But he has been posting his own photographs and images, I think, of that, and that is what the authorities are claiming infringes the law. Is that their case?
Yes. He posted his reports on Facebook and did the Al Jazeera interview. These are publicly available. People can see that they're standard journalism, what you're doing every day. But they have said that they are provocative comments and tarnish the image of the nation.
I think he also claimed, though, that certain members of the or groups that were creating the violence had come from the governing political party.
Yeah, they were pro-government vigilante groups.
So he made those allegations online, and I think said that in the Al Jazeera interview as well. I mean, the government and government sources say that these student protests, in fact, have been hijacked by opposition groups. Is there any way that your uncle would have aligned with any opposition groups within Bangladesh?
Not at all. He's a humanitarian activist. He's not affiliated with any political group. He would call out wrongdoing, whichever side it came from. He's interested in exposing the human condition in all its beauty and horror. That's his role. That's what he's always done.
I've got a picture of you with him and your daughter, which I think we can just put up now. I mean, you're obviously very close to him, and he's obviously somebody who commands huge international respect. Just looking at the campaign to try and get him freed now, what are your hopes in terms of legal representation and fighting these charges and getting him out of custody?
He has a very good barrister defending him. I just hope that the government sees sense and releases him. I have to say that it's not just about him, it's also about others who are similarly detained under this act, and through increasing autocracy and repression imposed by this government. Bangladesh is a beautiful country. The people are wonderful, incredibly resilient and resourceful. My uncle always taught me to love my country, my heritage. I've always loved Bangladesh. I still do. I think the people deserve better.
OK, Sofia Karim, thank you very much indeed for
Thank you.
joining us on the programme.